edition of the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Kitchen. It's been a lovely day out there. The weather's been absolutely gorgeous. So I thought, well, what can I make today? Now, look, with the coronavirus and the restrictions on travel, we can't travel overseas. We can't travel to Spain. But today, I'm gonna bring Spain to you, and I'm gonna show you how to cook a low-carb seafood paella. Yes, a low-carb seafood paella with cauliflower rice, and it's an absolutely gorgeous dish. You will love it if you try. So let me just firstly share with you the ingredients. I have about 500 grams here of mixed seafood. Now in the seafood there are clams, there are mussels, there's calamari and prawns. You may not want all of that. You may just want prawns, or you may be a bit adverse to mussels. Choose your own seafood mixture, but there's about 500 grams there. There is 300 grams of cauliflower and rice grains here as well. I have some garlic to add. I'm gonna add some black pepper, just a pinch. I have about 10 grams of crushed garlic. I also have some Scotch Bonnet because I'm gonna add a little bit of Scotch Bonnet for some Jamaican flavor. I've got some salt. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. I've got 50 grams of chopped onions. I have 50 grams of yellow peppers and red peppers, 50 grams of red peppers. I also have 80 grams of chopped tomatoes. I have 50 grams of chopped runner beans, green runner beans. I have 300 mils of fish stock, which I'm using. I'm gonna use a teaspoon of smoked paprika, not the hot paprika. I have some parsley here for garnish, which I'm gonna use at the end. Some lemon, I'm gonna squeeze a lemon at the end, and I have just a little bit of olive oil. And I also have some saffron, okay? So I'm gonna add some saffron to the dish. Okay, so this is how you prepare the seafood paella. I'm gonna take the saffron and I'm gonna toast it. I'm gonna put it in a little bit of foil. So I'm gonna take the saffron here and I'm gonna put it in some foil and I'm gonna fold it over gently. I'm just gonna toast it now. I'm using a paella dish. It's actually a paella dish here, but you can actually use a frying pan to do this. It's a really big dish. Don't even really have a cover, but I have some which I'm using. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna toast the saffron just about 15 seconds. The paella dish is hot, so I'm just gonna press the saffron down in the foil and leave it there for about 15 seconds. So that's the saffron toasted there. We're gonna use that a little bit later on in the cooking. First thing we're gonna do is prepare the seafood. So just get your frying pan or your paella dish. Just, add a little bit. In fact, let's add just a little bit of olive oil first. Just a little bit of olive oil to the pan, just to get that going. And then we're gonna add a pinch of black pepper to the pan. We're also gonna add a pinch of salt to the pan. And let's add just a little bit of garlic, just a little splash of garlic there as well. And just to give it a little bit of flavour, I'm gonna add the Scotch Bonnet. This is my particular addition here. And then we're gonna add the seafood. We're gonna add the seafood to the pan. So let's add the seafood. Seafood is cooked already, so we're just kind of seasoning it up and giving it a little bit of flavour. And then we're just gonna leave this to cook in the pan for about, I'd say about 2 to 3 minutes. So let's just leave this to do its thing in the pan for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then come back and see how the seafood is getting on. Okay, so that's been about 2 minutes now. As you can see, the seafood is really coming on nicely, and yeah, I think that it's been seasoned quite well. So all we're going to do now is just going to remove the seafood and just carry on with the next step. So just whatever bowl you've used, just take the seafood out of the pan and we'll get ready for preparing the next part of this delicious dish. I have to say to you that in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community, there will be a lot more of these video demonstrations and some exclusive dishes I'll be sharing with you. Some of my favorites, like my saltfish patties and my saltfish fritters and my beef patties. I'll be sharing all those exclusive recipes with you in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community, which I will remind you about at the end. So if you're enjoying these videos, look out for the real treats with the real Caribbean flavor. So now what we're going to do is just add the onions to the pan. Just want these onions just to brown for a little bit. Let's give that just a little bit of a pinch of salt as well. Okay. Give the onions I would say just a minute or so, just to brown. I did say onion, didn't I? I meant the garlic. Oh God, it's been such a hot day out there. Give the garlic a chance to brown. Okay, my bad. All right. So that's been inside there a minute. Now we're gonna add the onions to the pan. All right. Let's add the onions and mix that inside there. You know, onions and garlic has a really, really strong smell, so we just want that to do its thing. So we're just gonna leave that there for just about a minute for the onions to also brown, and then we'll add the rest of the recipe. Now, this dish is absolutely beautiful. You don't really need to have it with anything else. I just have this paella dish by itself, and the recipe that I'm making is enough for 2 people. Or you can have it one day and then have the rest the following day. It tastes even nicer the next day. So okay, so we have put the garlic and we put the onions, and the onions are browning very, very nicely there. So now we're gonna add the peppers, so we'll add the yellow peppers. We'll also add the red peppers in. We'll also add in the chopped tomatoes. So we'll add in the chopped tomatoes. And then we'll also add in the chopped beans. We'll mix that all together in the pan, leave it for a few seconds, and then we're going to add the smoked paprika. We're going to add a teaspoon. This gives it this kind of really nice burnt taste. You know, when you eat paella, you get that burnt taste. This is what this paprika does. It really helps with that. So we'll add about a teaspoon of the smoked paprika to the dish, and we will just mix that around there, and we'll just leave that there to simmer for about, I would say, just for about 5 minutes, allow it to cook. So we'll come back in about 5 minutes and we'll do the next part. So we'll just leave that for about 5 minutes, and this is the lid that I use because I don't have a lid big enough, so I'll just cover this and come back in about 5 minutes. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 5 minutes now. You can see it's got that slight little burnt look. I can smell the smoke paprika. I gave it a little bit of stir. It was on for about 4 minutes, I would say. I gave it a little bit of stir in between, but you can see it's got that kind of burnt, because that's what you want for the paella. What we're going to do now, we're going to add the cauliflower rice. So let's add the cauliflower rice there. And we're going to just give that a good stir. Alright, we're going to mix that all in, all around. Just give that a good little stir. So we're mixing the cauliflower rice and the tomatoes and the peppers and everything else that's inside the dish. Lovely. I really do love this dish, and I'm really looking forward to enjoying this dish today. So look, as you can see, that's all been mixed in there. All right, and then we're gonna add the fish stock, so the 300 mils of fish stock. So we'll add that to the dish, and this is where we now add the saffron. Let's take the saffron out of the foil, which we toasted earlier on, and all we're going to do, we're going to crush the saffron, and we're going to sprinkle it. So let's just, crush it with your fingers and sprinkle it all around. Take out the foil, and just sprinkle it all over. Okay, so that's the saffron in there, and then we're just going to give it a final stir. This is the last time you actually stir this paella dish. From now, after this stir, you just leave it to set. So we want to give this a real good mix now. Make sure everything's mixed in lovely. Beautiful. So much colour in this dish, the red and the green. I've said it before, but I really love colour in my food. I really, really do. So now I'm giving that dish a real good stir. All I'm going to do is just trying to make it even, because we're not going to touch this base again. Just going to leave this base as it is. Just going to make it even there. So as you can see, that's even there. And we're going to leave this for 5 minutes, because we want the fish stock to dry out and for it to get a slightly kind of burnt feel. So we're just going to cover this, and then we're going to come back in about 5 minutes and just add the final ingredients to this beautiful seafood paella. So I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Okay, so that's been on for about 4 minutes now. Let's just see how it's looking. Look, as you can see, it's drying out. There's just a little bit left in the middle. That's near enough right. We'll just leave that for another minute, and then we'll come back and add the final ingredients. Look, I do focus a lot on food in these videos, but the L.E.A.N Mind Method does focus on 3 other areas which help you to lose weight and manage your blood sugar, and that is getting the right amount of sleep and improving your sleep habits, exercise, and for me the most important aspect is the mindset. And all these areas will be covered in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community in depth, helping you to not only reach your health goals and your weight goals, but sustain those goals for a lifetime, because that's important. The most frustrating thing is to achieve a goal and then it just slip away and you go in this flip-flop of losing weight to gaining weight. That's not what we want to happen in the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community, and we have so many things that are going to be planned in there to allow you to be able to reach your goals and sustain those goals. Absolutely fantastic, and I'm really excited about it. So about 5 minutes now. Remember, don't stir this now. You want to leave this as it is, and what we're going to do, we're going to add in the seafood now, and we're just going to place the seafood, just sprinkle the seafood all over, as evenly as you can. Okay, but you don't want to stir this. Don't stir this at all. Just place the seafood over, but I cannot stress at this point that you should not stir it at all. Okay, so I just want to try and get the seafood as evenly as possible, as even spread as possible. Okay, that doesn't look too bad there. And then once the seafood is on there, we're just going to press it down. Just press it down just a little bit inside of the cauliflower. Okay, so press that down. Gently press that down. It's lovely. Okay. And then what we're going to do is just add some lemon. Let's give it a squeeze of lemon all around this paella here. There we go with the lemon. And then we're going to add the last thing, and this is just for garnish. If you don't have parsley, then you don't have to add parsley, but this is chopped parsley. We'll just add sprinkle some parsley over to add some green to that richness of color, but it also adds a really nice taste as well. So you decide how much parsley you want to add. So you can see that coming along nicely now. There we go. That's the parsley added there. And all we're going to do now, we're again going to leave this to cook for 5 more minutes. Again, no stir at this point, just put the lid back on, whatever you're using, and leave it on for another 5 minutes or so, say 4 to 5 minutes, and then your seafood paella is ready. So we'll come back and we'll see how this dish is looking in about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so that's been about 5 minutes now. We've left that to simmer. I haven't stirred it or anything. Let's just see how our seafood paella is looking. That looks absolutely delicious, don't you think? Absolutely gorgeous. So you can see it's still simmering, but it's just about right. Now, you know, one of the things that people always complain about is when they change their diet to lose weight is they have to sacrifice taste. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing these recipe videos, to show you that you can eat delicious food and still lose weight following the L.E.A.N MindBody Method. You don't have to sacrifice taste, and you don't have to go hungry. Look at the beautiful meal I'm going to enjoy this evening. So that's the seafood paella dish ready to be eaten. Let me just turn the fire down now, and yeah, you're wondering how it tastes or how it looks. So let's just see how this seafood paella has come out. So I'm just going to take a little bit here so you can actually see what it looks like on the plate. Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so you can see the cauliflower rice, and you know how the paprika is giving it that red smoked feeling, or red smoked look, I should say. So let's just see how this seafood paella tastes. Well, I love it. I absolutely love that taste. And I'm looking forward to enjoying the rest of it later this evening. As I said to you earlier on, we have a fantastic community that will be starting in a few weeks. It's called the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Community. It's a community which will allow you to be part of a family. I genuinely want to serve and help people lose weight and become healthier like I have. And the L.E.A.N Lifestyle Tribe community is a place where that is going to happen. I genuinely believe that that community is going to not just change lives, but save lives. And I would love you to be part of that community. So keep your eye out over the next week or so, where we'll be launching a community and inviting our first founding members into that community. For now, as I always say at the end of these videos, whatever you do, stay safe in these coronavirus times, but make sure that you make health your your habit.